Hey, hi, Kelsey.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, nice view.
Yeah, it gets some outside time today.
Yeah, must be nice in Virginia. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, we got a big show today. We got two rescues on, and we couldn't figure out who to bring up first. And then we heard that Texas is going to have one of their infamous pop-up storms. So we're going to bring up Texas. So first, we have young Murphy going to be on the show with Courtney in Texas, the foster mom, and there's a little video that's for her. It's only less than a minute and a half. We're going to play it. Bring them up. Wow. And there she is.
She's over here on her Kong.
Okay. Kongs are lifesavers, aren't
That's
they?
right.
Hi, Courtney. How you doing today?
I'm good, Steve. Hey, Kelsey. How are you guys?
Good. So we brought you up because you got Texas storms coming.
That's how it goes down here. Come out of nowhere. Come in, come out real quick.
Well, they don't come out of nowhere. They come out in Texas.
That's true. They do.
Okay. All
Pop up
right.
out
So
anywhere.
you've got Murphy with you,
I
the
do.
gardener.
Murphy, the professional gardener.
Yeah. So how old is she?
She's I think she's about 2.5 years old.
Okay. So she's still pretty young.
She is.
And before you
Yes.
go in and tell us all about her, what I don't know is has she ever been around cats?
I actually have two cats. One of them is they're very curious about Murphy, and she's very interested in why they're so small with sharp fingers. You know, she doesn't quite understand that.
You did send me that.
That's right, but it's okay. She gets along just fine. I mean, they kind of go, "Hey, what's up?" And then that's about it. You know, which is great.
Yeah, 2.5 years old. She still acts a lot like a puppy, doesn't she?
Very much. Yep. I don't think she ever had a puppy phase. I don't know if it's from where she came or the shelter or whatnot, but she's definitely super interested in toys and, pulling things off the counter and making friends with everybody and kind of bouncing around the house, so yeah, very much a puppy.
Now, the video says something about she likes to gather stuff up off the counter and then strategically place it in a corner of the house.
She does. If we have, mail or grocery sacks, she doesn't tear up anything. She just gathers things and puts them in a little corner for her to visit later, and it's like her little pile of treasures,
And then she has a fetish with blankets.
She does. I guess maybe she never had a blanket before, and she's just, enthralled by them. But she pulls blankets off the couch, creates a little pallet for herself with her treasures, and then just lays on everything. That's just her favorite thing. I've taken the blanket off this couch because, she liked it a little too much.
Gotcha. Does she take it outside with her if you gave her the opportunity?
Oh my gosh, she would. She takes shoes outside too. Again, doesn't chew them up. She just likes to gather her toys, in one specific area.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But,
wow.
Such is a puppy life, right? And She's never had a puppy like before, so we gave her one.
Yeah. So what kind of home do you think she would need?
She would do best in a home with another dog that likes to play, whether it be a puppy or an adult dog. She is a big girl. She does romp around the house a lot. So a senior dog or, someone with babies, children would probably not be the best just because of her size.
Okay.
She has no issue with children. It's just that she's a big girl and she likes to play around. And she was skinny when we got her, but I put some groceries in her and she's put on probably about 30 pounds or so. So
wow,
she's probably pushing 100 right now, which is, I expect her to put on a little more weight, but she definitely needs a home with someone that's going to play with her, whether it be another dog or, even a cat or a goat or somebody that wants to play with her.
As long as it's play.
That's right. That's right.
And she does well with your healer and when need be, she's gentle because he's smaller.
He is. And if I've always had healers and Pyrenees together. I don't know why that's just my dog breeds. And the healer, he's very nippy and he can get, pretty out of control sometimes. And boy, she just comes over there and says, "Excuse me, take it down a notch." She makes the funniest noises when she plays. She does this like growl kind of roll around and she runs and she dives, head first in the grass and to shake him off her tail. But yeah, he's tough dog and, she's very, very gentle with him, understanding that he's 30, 40 pounds and she's 100 pounds.
Yeah. And he can walk plumb under her if he needed.
Yes, he does. That's one of his fighting moves is he goes right underneath her, gets feet.
Wow. Okay. Brian says she's the best doggo ever.
Yeah. Hi, Brian. Brian's my brother-in-law.
Oh, so he actually knows her. So
he does. He knows her personally. Yeah.
Knowledge.
Yes. He's my brother-in-law, and I sent everybody, all my friends and family, the video today so they could share it with their friends.
All right. Good. Murphy has her own webpage. I've got the address up there, but usually it's just easier to, go out to Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. That's an easier one to write down. Okay?
Yep.
All these long URLs can get confusing, but if it's happening right there where it's happening with Murphy, and you get to see all their other dogs. Yep. Now, she's in Texas right now, but she's getting ready to go on a road trip, isn't she?
She's going on transport tomorrow down to Houston. So we're going to go down south and then she'll be headed up north, I believe on Thursday.
Pacific Northwest, where to another foster.
Correct.
Where all of the adopters are for the rescue, huh?
That's correct. Texas is hard on these dogs, it's hot down here and they're used for livestock guardians down here. And then they get out and they roam and it's just a better place. We have great adopters down here too, but I think she'll have a better chance up north for sure.
I'm pretty experienced with that. Now, with the rescue, with Great Pyrenees Rescue Society, she's your first foster with them.
She is my first foster. I've done work with other rescues, just primarily on the hidden background side, but this is my first true foster dog. And she just burped in my face to let me know how she feels about me. So, they've been great. It's a good organization. I actually was going to adopt through them before we found our other Pyrenees. That was kind of like an emergency case. So we went with another with the Texas Great Pyrenees Rescue.
Mm-hmm. I know they are.
But it's been awesome. The support is great. The adopters, the fosters, the coordinators, everybody's been really fantastic.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And we hear that quite well, just the 4 rescues that support the show. We hear that out of all their fosters also. So and I'll tell you what, if you have an issue, when we ask how your experience is, it's the good or the bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they don't know, they can't fix anything. So
that's right.
But I tell you what, fostering itself is rewarding because now hers was a little different. She's got a boy's name, but it's spelled like a girl. How did How did she come across that name?
So the foster coordinator, she was picked up in Murphy, Texas, which is just a
Murphy,
little north of
Texas.
here. And Murphy with a Y is the boy. And then, she had, I guess
She was their best kept secret, I heard.
that's what I heard too.
2 weeks she was there before they even let rescues know she was even there. And for those of you that have any experience with Texas at all, that never happens.
No.
So that tells us something big.
She came to us pretty, I don't want to say neglected. She was in a rough spot, when we pulled her, when the foster coordinators pulled her. She had just gotten fixed, but while she was in heat while she got fixed.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
It was difficult for a while with her. It was pretty, she was sick. She didn't feel well, for a good 6 weeks or so. But now that she's good, she's eating, she's got groceries in her. She's a thick girl. She's a big girl. And
she's beautiful.
She's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to miss her when she goes on transport.
Yeah. But like we talked about a few minutes ago, they have no shortage of dogs in need that they can set what's your healer's name?
Pudge.
Pudge.
Like Pudge Rodriguez, the Rangers baseball player.
So Pudge will have another friend here shortly.
He will. And I have another Pyrenees here. Her name's Maddie, and they get along great. Maddie's she's got an attitude problem sometimes, like most Pyrenees do. But
coming up after we do Andy, you're going to meet one that has an attitude. Or at least did have an attitude. Now he has an understanding.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Murphy, she's got her days, but I mean, she's been fantastic. And if every single foster goes like this, man, I'm going to have a house full of dogs and probably have to find a new husband because,
Wowzer. Now, say, for example, you're trying to talk to a friend into fostering, and your friend tells you, I can't foster because I would keep them all. What would you say to that friend? I didn't mean to catch you off guard on that, but
no, that's perfect. Personally, this is my first foster, and I thought, I'm just going to keep her. Forget it. I'm done. Never mind. I'm done. Right. I'm just going to keep her. But what happens is when you keep them, then you've added another dog to your pack, which then means there's one less foster that you can pull from.
And you have more.
I have a limit of how many dogs I can physically care for. Right.
Yeah.
So the thing about fostering is you're just a temporary place to give them a home with lots of love and teach them that people are good and that there are good people out there that will take care of them, gain that trust back a little bit, put some weight on, get them better. And I think that fostering saves lives.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yes, without you, where would she be? Would she even have a blanket to pull around the house?
Who knows? She wouldn't have a garden to dig in. I mean, where would she be doing her gardening work every day?
You got to meet her needs, and she shows you every day how well she appreciates it. So
she does.
You're raising the bar
right to my face.
Yep. You enrich them and you raise the bar for what she can expect for the next home.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. Fostering, it's a tough thing to do, right? Because you do grow attached to them, especially when they're in your home for longer than 6 weeks, right? All of a sudden now their personalities are coming out. It's hard to let them go. But knowing that she's going to find a forever home like this is great.
Now, so right now she's in Texas, and if you're in Texas and you want her, get that application in. Okay.
That's right.
Because the end of this week, she'll be on her way to Washington or Oregon or wherever the next foster is on her second out of 3 steps in her life. Okay. In rescue. So, but Texas, everybody knows that Texas are temporary fosters, but they do get adopted in Texas too. All right. So just because you're in Texas doesn't mean you can adopt or can't adopt. It just means that you got it. The timing was right for you. So get your app in if you think you might want Murphy at GreatPyreneesRescueSociety.org. She's a beautiful dog. And,
sweetheart. She's the definition of a sweetheart.
Yes. And look at that gentle paw.
all the time.
Wow.
I need
I
more.
wish mine had gentle pure paws. I bet
She
you
just knows
Kelsey
she's on
wishes
camera.
hers did. She's got like 9 of them over there.
Yeah. She knows she's on camera, so she's on her best behavior with the gentle paw.
Gotcha.
You know.
So the gentle paw can be deceiving.
It is.
Gotcha.
If
All right.
she wants pets right now, it's coming.
Yes. And Melise has a valid point, and I don't have it up here, Melise, but I will, and we'll post it a little bit later in the show. There is a cycle of rescue that actually has an infographic, and me like a dummy didn't grab it. And the cycle would be the dog comes from the shelter, and I'm going off memory. I know I'm going to mess this all up, Melise, but I'll get it posted. Goes into probably, well, they could go into headquarters first, depends, and then go to a foster, or they could come out of a shelter straight to a foster, but then they're there for 2 to 4 weeks in Texas because it's always temporary. Then they move up to another foster for, well, phase 2 of their life in rescue. And from the Pacific Northwest is usually where they get adopted from, and that's the 3rd and final phase of their life in rescue. So, and everybody has a purpose and what they do with the dogs, and Great Pyrenees Rescue Society, they handle a lot of dogs. Okay, a lot of dogs. So now I'm going to see what Brian says. I don't screen these before I bring them up, folks. So be gentle with it, okay?
Right.
Fostering is great for Courtney because she grew up in a household with parents who treated pets as equals to or above the human kids. Okay.
That's very true.
And so I think he loves his little sister.
Yes.
And pretty proud of you too.
Yeah.
Yep. Because you're saving lives. So
that's what we're here for.
And Melise just said the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society has right around 150 dogs right now. Yep. Okay. That's a lot of dogs.
It is.
And if you knew how many they have to turn away each day because they don't have room, adopters are extremely important. Okay. And we're going to also touch this again. And when we talk to Brenda with Andy in Indiana, when you adopt a dog, okay, you're saving more than, you're saving, it goes beyond that, because now if there's a dog at facility, now Brenda or Courtney can take another dog there, open up a spot. So then the headquarters can take another dog out of the shelter, which opens up another spot. Shelter can take another dog in. So there's another one. So there's 3 dogs. You save the one you're adopting. You save another one, for example, out of facility, and then you save another one out of the shelter. So you're actually welcome to rescue is all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Right? Even though, that's just how that works. So, and always remember, shelters, they have a hard job. When a rescue has no room, and that means they just, they have to say no. But if the rescue has to say no to the shelter, you see, now the shelter folks, there's a possibility they may have to euthanize a healthy dog, and that takes its toll on people. Okay. So next time somebody thinks about the shelter are bad people because they killed a healthy dog and you wanted that dog out, well, then take the dog out. Okay. Because you might be that dog's only chance, because they don't want to euthanize a healthy dog. All right. Not the ones I know anyway. There could be some out there. I don't know, but that means they're even more urgent. So Texas is in bad place right now. All right. The whole country's in a bad place. So, and always remember, if you're having behavior issues with your dog, say, for example, you have a Doberman and you're having a problem with your Doberman behavior wise, call a Doberman rescue, contact them. They can probably point you into a direction. There are resources there. Okay. Great Pyrenees rescues have resources. All right. They're not throwaway. Don't make them walk on eggshells. I had asked Ruth earlier, I says, about the eggshells. I says, because I use the example, if your child makes one mistake, you're not taking your child to the shelter. And she says, well, I don't know. She said, depends on which child. But you know what I mean. You don't expect them to walk on eggshells, okay? Because they'll make mistakes. They don't want to, but they'll make mistakes. So Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. That's where you go to see. You can find her profile and many other dogs' profiles. So, all right, Courtney. Wow. I think we got you done here. So,
Yeah, thank
you
you.
need to add, and Kelsey may have a question. I don't know. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't.
Did we talk about leash walking at all?
Oh, no.
Well, I will help. So, it's been too hot in Texas to go outside and leash walk. So we've been practicing in the grass, and not a real situation, but in grass. I walked her this morning. It was the first time that we ever have been able to, and she did perfect.
Awesome.
She doesn't know how to heel, and she doesn't know how to do all the other stuff that the healer does, but she is interested in the grass, and I said, let's go. She moves on to the next spot.
So if you take her on a walk, it's probably going to be an enjoyable walk.
It is. Yes, it is. I was actually very, very surprised just because we haven't been able to practice as much as I'd like because of the heat. But I was surprised this morning. I said, well, all right, I guess she's ready to walk.
Right.
She does. She knows sit. She knows off. We use off a lot because she's very tall, as in taller than the counters.
Well, for peer owners, you will feel that pain too.
She doesn't like to do down, but we're working on it. It's not her favorite thing, probably because she's really tall and doesn't want to go down. I get it; it takes a lot of energy to get back up. And she does no crate or go to bed. So
okay.
She does.
Now, if the bed doesn't have a blanket on it, and she seems to have her own bed there, right?
Yes, she does.
But did I hear a rumor although she's partial to Tempur-Pedic?
She really does prefer the Tempur-Pedic mattress over her dog bed. But, some days it's just not available. So she does go to the dog bed, I guess.
All right. Awesome. So. Okay. All right.
She's the couch thing is new for her. She was very not a furniture dog at first, which was surprising to me because all my dogs live on all my furniture, right? Mm-hmm. But she one day just snuck up there and was like, "Is this okay?" And then she plopped right down, and it was over from there.
Well, you got a lot of sleeping pictures for her.
Yeah.
Discovering new puppyhood, that's very, very tiring for a dog,
mm-hmm.
right?
It is.
I love this picture.
That's the perfect definition of their relationship right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there you go. Have it. I mean, a family with a sense of humor would be a plus. But she's going to need a mentor. Is that correct?
100%. 100%. I would say that Pudge, the healer, even though he's only 18 months old, right? He's still a puppy. He showed her the ropes real quick and learned, where the dog door is, where the water is. And I didn't really have to teach her much.
Wow.
He really took that. And I think she copies his behavior a lot.
Okay.
So I think having another dog that kind of like knows the ropes and, knows that you're not supposed to get on the counter and, runs to the other room when I say off because, Murphy did it, not me,
It's hard to stay off a counter when it's at your eye level or lower.
Hey, I mean, I get it. It's difficult. Things are right there. We've just learned to keep things off the counter.
And for those that you viewing that have never experienced a Great Pyrenees, number one, get one, providing you can. They're not for everybody now.
No.
Because they can outthink us, and you got to stay on your toes with Great Pyrenees. But they're an amazing breed. They'll stay loyal to you for life. So please stay loyal to them. All right.
Funny dogs. They're very.
We were talking about something that you don't even get to do, but Great Pyrenees Rescue Society up in Washington is sponsoring a event called Harbor Days, Harbor Hounds Charity Walk, and I have a link for it here, kind of. There we go. This was kind of a last minute thing, so I came unprepared. Well, at least that's why I didn't get to cycle up there. I was trying to get this up for you. It's up there in Washington at Gig Harbor, Washington. There's a link. It tells all about it if you guys want to go. Okay. I don't know where at in Washington, but it's Gig Harbor. So I'm sure the Washington folks will probably have a better idea about it. But apparently that's something that is a nice thing. And it's on September 10th. And it goes from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's supported by the Rotary Club of Gig Harbor Midday. So sounds like it could be a lot of fun. They're going to have categories, apparently a contest for best tricks, best kisser, the dog, not the human. That's what this is about. That was actually in parentheses on the notes that were sent me. The best tail wagger, the best dressed and fun musical sit and stay contest. So there you have it. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun that day. So
hopefully Murphy gets to go, that would be great.
Oh yeah. Go out to harborhounds.com and there you go. And that'll, you might have just might have a fun day out there. Okay. Then one last thing I like to touch on just before I take you down, because we're fixing to get real busy with Indiana,
go ahead.
is we want to send out congratulations to the Jean-Luc in Washington. He actually won the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society's calendar contest. He's the official cover boy now. And we're going to try to get him on the show. Okay. Now he'll be at Harbor Days. Okay. Or whatever they called that again. I already forgot. So you just might be able to get to meet the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society cover boy. All right. So anyway, thank you, Courtney. Thank you for fostering, and thank you for continuing to foster. We're going to move you off to the side, unless you got a thunderstorm coming and you need to make a exit.
We're all right now.
All right, Kelsey, do you have anything to add to any of this? You've been
not at this
very
point.
attentive to being outside. That means your dogs aren't bugging you. So
no, they're all being pretty good right now anyway.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to move on, and we actually have to change brands here because now we are in Indiana, and we have an amazing boy. Now he was on about a month ago, and we need to step this up. Why is he still here? I'm going to play. We're going to play his video here. Hi, Brenda.
Hello.
Wow. And there's Mr. Andy and guest.
Yep,
Well, you
Mr.
got
Andy's right here in
you
the
got
Red, Indiana.
well, you got a room full today, don't you?
Yes.
Why is Andy still there?
I don't know. I do not know. He's great with the little kids. He's great with older kids. He's good with the cat. All of my dogs. And we have dogs that are puppies. We have a puppy that's a husky. And then we have an older dog that is 12. And he doesn't bother her. And he gets along with everybody.
And let's touch on his little birth defect for a second, because maybe that's scaring people off, because it doesn't seem, according to the video, that doesn't bother Andy at all.
Not at all. I'll tell you what, when they get to playing rough in the morning and they're all excited after they've ate, they come running down the hallway, and this couch I'm on, him and Tucker will slam into it, tip the couch about through the window, and then jump down and take off running again. He's constantly running and playing, and he keeps up with everybody.
Wow. And I just don't understand it. Now, he's not a big guy, is he?
He's probably about 80 pounds.
So no, he's just a little guy. Compared to, well, Murphy and Samson that'll be coming up shortly.
Yep.
He's a little guy. Now, so I mean, it's pretty much a given. He does well with kids, cats, fire trucks, motorcycles. I mean, anything and everything he's ever met, this dog is good with.
He is. And people are probably wondering, if he's so good, how come we're not going to keep him? Well, because we already have 3 dogs of our own, and I enjoy fostering. So we'll just have another dog come stay with us until he finds a home.
And how's your experience in fostering been with you?
Really good.
Okay.
Really good. We have our first foster dog went up to Wisconsin area where Moose went. And then another one went to Georgia. And then I have one in Indy, and one went to Ohio. So my foster dogs have gone all over the place, and they usually stay in touch with me every so often. They'll text me and let me know how the dogs are doing.
Good. And if you need anything from the rescue, have they been accommodating in that respect?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Great. When we need flea medication or heartworm preventatives, we go and get them, or Jane will mail it to us, whichever way. But we usually go down there.
Awesome.
And visit the shelter or the rescue about once a month.
Mm-hmm.
So.
IGPR.org. Right now, if it's happening in Indiana, that's where it's happening. So you can go there and read Andy's bio, right? And other dogs, in case you don't want Andy. I can't imagine anybody not wanting Andy that gets to meet him. All right. Go, and that's the thing. They get to meet the dogs in a foster home, don't they?
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, I want to touch on something here. For those of you that have Great Pyrenees, look what you're seeing. Look what you are witnessing right now. There is a young child with food and 2 Great Pyrenees that are not, having an issue over it. Okay. That is amazing. That is good leadership, good guidance, good leadership. All right. Good mom and dad.
Yeah.
The need is not there. See, it can happen. If, for example, if you have a food reactive dog, the dog doesn't have to be. All right. So, and this is a young child that dog, that Andy just does so well with.
Almost 2.
As a matter of fact, that's not a requirement to the application. It isn't one where they have young children, because sometimes that is a requirement, but you don't have that requirement on there, do you?
I don't remember if Jane does or not. I think it's probably depends on each individual dog.
Right. What kind of home, in your opinion, would do you think he would need?
He likes to play with the other dogs, and at times we have 6 dogs here if my son's over, because he has 2, and he loves to play with another dog. So I think if he had a buddy to play with, it would be really good for him.
Now, what about a cat? Would that be a replacement or just an addition?
We have a cat, and he does great with the cat too.
Yeah,
So
we saw that on another video with him.
yeah.
He's
So
an amazing dog.
Cat's good with kids.
Right. You're not going to find, this is, well, he's the perfect peer,
Yes.
except he's got weird hips. Now, Jane Great Pyrenees Rescue had taken him for consultation, and the surgeon said, don't need surgery. He's not in any pain that they can tell at all. And he just has weird hips. He was born that way. And I believe what it is, when he was born, the balls just weren't in the sockets. That's all. And his body had counted for it. Wow, look at this. This is amazing. This is awesome.
Sit. You gonna sit?
And I'm assuming Andy is the one with the bandana, right?
Yep, this is Andy with the bandana.
All right. There you have it. I mean, sheesh. I think, Kelsey, are you filling out an application on the...
I mean, he looks like he would fit in a little too well over here, but this one needs adopted first.
Yeah. And Takani is adoptable to the right
Yep.
home. So
Yep, Connie is
Wow.
adoptable.
So igpr.org, man, you can read about Andy and the other dogs there. So, and it was Andy's video that touched on, when you adopt Andy, the other dogs that you are also saving. So, whether you like it or not, you just saved more than just Andy. Okay. Because, well, Great Pyrenees Rescue has a similar problem that Great Pyrenees Rescue Society does, just not in the same quantity. Okay. Texas has so many rescues because number one, they're so big. And number two, I don't know, they just have a lot of dogs coming in. And wow, he is something else. Is there anything you'd like to add, Brenda?
He is house trained, completely house trained. He goes all night. He doesn't sleep in his kennel anymore. He knows our routine. He sleeps out here on the couch, and we don't have any accidents. He doesn't bother anything during the night. I've started leaving him out of the crate. If we're going to be gone for like an hour or two, he stays out of the crate. He does fine. If we do need to crate him, he will go to his crate when he's asked to, most of the time. Sometimes he doesn't want to go into his crate, but he does. He is crate trained. I can't say there's nothing bad about him I could even say.
I know. That's why I'm asking, why is he still in rescue? I don't get it.
No.
So, well, we're going to see if we can change that. And Courtney, is the healer also for adoption? Probably not, huh?
No, I always joke and say, depending on what day it is.
Gotcha.
Murphy and him are up together.
So basically, the healer, you go to findadifferentdog.com, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. But Andy is up for adoption. Okay. Murphy is up for adoption. We got 2 states. We got 2 amazing dogs. Okay. So now Andy's does have a backstory. He made newspaper and everything. So when he originally came in, he was pretty thin when you got him, wasn't he?
Not when I got him, because he had been at the rescue.
Oh, that's right.
He was involved in a neglect case. So
he was in a neglect case. It actually made the news.
Without practice.
Must have been a big one.
Yeah. Yep.
And usually neglect, wasn't it kind of borderline hoarding too, if I remember right?
I don't
remember.
I know there were alpacas on the farm,
right?
Roosters, and a lot of great
and the dogs. There was one. Didn't you have a brother or sister that's been adopted?
Yes, I fostered his brother first, and then he got adopted like within a month.
Wow.
And the day he got adopted, we brought home Andy, and we've been fostering him since June.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
great. Wow, there you have it. The perfect peer still needs a home. Let's fix that, everybody. And a good way to do that is just share the show. You can share the show from wherever you're watching. I'm not sure about YouTube, though. We also stream to YouTube. So share the show. Let's get him out there. Let's get Murphy out there too. He'll be in the Pacific Northwest, by the weekend. So, wow. All right, Brenda, thanks. You guys going to stay up?
Sure.
All right. So let's trade places, because this way, if the dogs do something cute, you all get to see it. All right.
Okay.
Now, Melise, Nancy, kind of saved me a little bit. She gave me the cycle of rescue. Okay. And there's the graphic. So shelter asked us to help with dogs on the euthanasia list. All right. Then they go to a Texas foster home for 2 to 6 weeks, where they learn love, patience, and they get vet care and some training, basic stuff. Then they go on transport to the Pacific Northwest. Okay. And to another foster home for, part 2 of the dog's life and rescue. And then from there is where they usually go to their forever home from there. And always remember, forever. When you make a commitment to a dog, it's a long-term commitment. They're not throwaway. They're forever, not until something happens. So, so anyway, our next dog coming up is, he's a good dog, and always was. So, and he has a video that we had made a while back, but I have to change over to our main brand, the Rescue Show. So this is Samson, and I'm just going to play his video, and I think I'm going to bring his mom up. I see an empty camera down there, but at least the camera, I see it move. She's awake. So here's Samson's little video. Now, he is not with a rescue. He wasn't with a rescue. He had some behavior issues, and his family had to reach out for help. And because giving him up was not an option. All right. Wow. Whoops. You're not Ruth. Where'd Ruth go? There she is. Wow, that's a big dog, huh, Ruth?
It sure is.
Don't get too far away from your Wi-Fi. We'll lose you. So
My Wi-Fi is right there. Is where my modem is. So.
Okay. Now, Samson had quite a few behavior issues coming into this, didn't he?
He did. He did.
And one of them that was troubling was that he was, biting your husband.
Yes. Yep.
And so, wow. So, let's start there. Looks like he doesn't understand the theory behind trampoline is what it looks like.
That's his newfound hiding place. Since we took the pool down, I moved the trampoline in the spot where the pool was, and that's his new spot.
Okay.
I think he likes it because there's no bugs there like there is in the grass. So
Gotcha.
if he's
Oh, he
happy,
doesn't
I'm
like
happy.
bugs. You've got a Great Pyrenees that weighs 130 pounds that doesn't care for bugs.
Unless he's eating them.
Okay. So, what was happening with your husband and Samson early on?
Well, my husband's in a wheelchair. So Samson being very large, and we just have a 1-floor ranch home, anywhere where Samson laid, he was in the way.
Ah,
So,
and that became a problem
because anytime my husband needed to go somewhere, Samson had to move.
and Samson apparently didn't take kindly to that, did he?
He did
All
not.
right.
So,
how did you overcome that?
well, I had some guidance, and we trying to think, we started giving him treats.
I believe you had Martin, your husband,
Mhm.
change his relationship with your dog.
Right. We learned a different way to get him to move without just saying move.
Right.
We created a bond,
And
so
moving
that
is now a good thing and not
right.
an annoyance, right?
Right. So instead of it being just move, it's come on, let's go. So now
That's
he's
right.
coming with him instead of just moving.
Thank you. So,
Um
and
so
this was a
it's more of a,
problem because of his size. He would block a lot of area. Now, didn't you also give him a place that you preferred him to lay?
yes. Actually I think it might be in one of the pictures.
I didn't
He
bring them
has his
all up.
yeah, he has his own bed. So now
There it
right
is.
there it is. Yep. So now if he's in the way and he's just sleeping or what have you, and we need him to move, if we tell him, Samson, go to your place, he will get up and go to his place.
Perfect.
We always make sure we reward that because he's doing a good thing for us, so we need to do a good thing for him.
That's right. And reciprocating.
Exactly. So I mean, for every good behavior, we reward him because he's doing something good for us, so why not do it back?
Okay. And so how long did that take to where your husband no longer felt threatened and you didn't feel that every time your husband said something to Samson, you didn't know which Samson was going to respond or was he going to react? How long did that take?
It was literally maybe a few days, maybe
A few days.
a
Wow.
few days, maybe 3, 4 at the most,
Okay. So
but just a
I
few days.
remember just a few days you had mentioned to me that now you needed a new dog because you needed one for you too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so there was a few things that I am going to touch on something here, and we may have you come back on if people have questions, but we're going to fast forward now. Always, and also too, you had some leash reactive issues. You had car. Did you have car issues? The only issue you did not have was guarding his food. Did you?
Never had a trouble. Never
Never
once.
had a problem with that. Now, how
Never.
old is your son? You have a 10-year-old,
12.
12-year-old.
Yep.
And he's is somewhat special needs. Is that correct?
He is ADHD. He has severe anxiety.
We had an issue with Samson with him too. I am going to touch on the first issue. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have video of the latest. Okay.
Okay.
So, He was going from one room to another. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Samson was asleep in the doorway.
Yes.
Well, in the room that, or the foyer,
It's in a
or the hallway.
Right. It's in a hallway. Yep.
And Manny got bit, didn't he?
Yes. Yep.
So now we've got, you know, and that bite drew blood, didn't it? A little bit.
A little bit.
And what happened?
There
What
was-
took place? What did you learn?
Well, in that hallway, it's a very small area.
Confined
For
space.
one thing, it's a very tight space. So that was one of the issues. The other issue was Samson was sleeping. So when Manny, my son, entered that space, he was startled. So Samson, if I'm understanding what happened, from my point of view, he was scared. He reacted in fear. So he jumped, and that's when he bit
And
Manny.
he got Manny. So what did you do
Right.
to work that one out?
Um,
Did you desensitize it, or did you start having Manny announce himself first, or did you just manage the situation?
Manny now, when he if Samson is in that hallway, Manny will now announce himself before he gets too close. He'll say, "Sam, I'm coming through," so that if Samson is sleeping, that wakes him up and lets Samson know, hey, there's a safe person that's coming through. There's somebody who lives in this household.
And how long did that take to, or is that ongoing? How long do you think that took?
That probably took, I would say, about a week, only because Samson doesn't always lay in the same spot.
Right. And you don't want to force him to lay there just so you can put him in a position like that, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so
Now,
there we have,
my son still always does, just out of courtesy, lets him know, Samson,
courtesy.
I'm coming by. I'm coming through.
You know, I've had my dogs for many years, and when I come home, I announce myself to my wife, and my wife has nothing to do with it. I want my dogs to know it's me. Okay.
Yep.
They're a guardian breed. Okay.
Yep.
They protect their boundaries and all the contents. So, now, there's the latest situation. You actually sent some video of a little bit. And we are going to touch on that one because we have video somewhere. Here we go. And this one here is, I could have shortened that one. I didn't know that we are going to bring you back on, but we're going to touch on this here. Watch, everybody. Here it comes. Wait for it. Whoa. That's the same young man that you were working through in the confined space, huh?
Yes.
Whoa, what in the heck just happened? Well, that wasn't in confined space. That was actually being structured. But we kind of restructured that one, didn't we?
Right.
Okay. Now, is this one is still a work in progress?
It is, and we
now
have any more of those. What we have done to fix that, because it wasn't Samson's fault. He wasn't prepared to be pet. And
he was uncomfortable in the situation anyway. And didn't Manny have a situation to where Samson couldn't understand his emotion?
Correct.
He talked with his disorder. He talks in like a
monotone. He has a very monotone. So it's hard for Samson to judge what type of mood he's in. So we're
Mhm.
also working with Manny to work on that tone also.
Good. So
So
that means this isn't all the dog's fault, then, is it?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. So
Interesting.
also, if you look at the video, Manny's sitting up high, so he's kind of towering over
Hmm.
Samson, who's laying down. So um in my opinion, he's kind of intimidating because he's towering over Samson.
And then bends plumb over him.
Right. So
Okay.
I believe you may have another video where now that things are doing so well,
Now
we found a
this is part of the treatment plan, isn't it? The
yes, it
behavior
is.
plan.
Yes,
And
it is.
look what Manny just did. He
We
took
found what
away
works.
that threat.
We found exactly what works. So we bring them out into the yard where Samson enjoys most of his day.
Hmm.
They play, and Manny will get down and sit down next to him, and he will give him treats from ground level.
Oh, because Samson gets confused with Manny, right?
Right, right.
And
Now
that's very important.
right.
Nancy says, "Thank you for working with them and not giving up Samson." She may have given up Manny first. I don't know.
No, Samson and Manny and Samson continue daily to bond, and well, I really might need another dog, Steve.
I know it because now Manny's taking your boy away from you now.
Now Manny's getting he truly is starting to get just as close a bond as my husband and Samson are.
Right. Because you are you were doing things differently in management, and
Here's
then
where he sits down next to him
yes,
in the video, and
and
he
he's
feeds him
laying down,
fruits. Hmm.
and
And
Samson is laying there.
he even gives him the peer paw if you at
Oh,
one
okay.
point.
So if you have behavior issues with your Great Pyrenees, you don't have to give them up. There's other ways, okay?
Right.
Because now he came from a breeder, right? Like a now you found out it was an Amish breeder, didn't you?
It was well, it was not the prettiest situation when I arrived.
You
I
weren't
thought it
leaving
was
without him, were you?
I was not. I thought it was a reputable breeder when I called, and when I arrived, he was in a makeshift barn that was made out of a silo. It was full of feces and pigeons.
Wow.
And when Samson, there was 3 other um, pups there that were, I believe, 15 weeks. He was the last of the 13-week-old. He was hidden for a while, and he came up and very shyly walked over to me, and I knew right away he was coming home with me. I wasn't going to leave him.
Right. Yeah.
So the guy practically begged me to take 2 more, but I often this is another thing about my son. He's adopted. So in my mind I knew that I couldn't take those other pups.
Right. I understand.
I couldn't save them all, but I knew I could save one.
They just had like 6 Great Pyrenees there, including Andy. I had to bring him up.
Yep.
That was awesome. Now, Diana, she's taking notes. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
always remember that every dog is an individual. Okay. So the exact things that was done with Samson may not work with your dog. My suggestion would be to reach out. Okay. I don't know where you are.
Oh, buddy.
Rescue. All right. They have resources. You can reach out to us at the show. I don't know where you're watching it, but if you put a comment there, somebody might see it. And then you've got Roman Gottfried of Roman's Canine Training. You can reach out to him. So Romans Holistic Dog Training.org, I believe, is the website. Mine is newhopepeers.org. You can reach out there. So, but wow, now, Steve's, he also had a dog that was less than a cupcake in the beginning, and he was a little slow. They took him camping with him over this weekend. I'm glad you made it back, Steve. He has Murphy. That's an Indie Great Pyrenees rescue dog. So, and he adopted him. But the dogs can do it. Okay. They can do this. They really, really can. Sometimes mom and dad might need a hand with another set of eyes. So resources are there. Okay. Ruth. So how's Manny doing now? Manny was probably a little skittish of Samson at first, wasn't he? After the incident in the chair.
He was scared at first.
So
but
you didn't really do a whole lot at first then, did you? You had to get
we
Manny
took
settled down, Samson settled down.
Yep, we took a break for a little while. In fact, we took probably about a week off. And just kind of let them cool their jets for a little bit. Another thing I started doing too is letting Manny give him a treat that he really enjoys, but he likes sardines. Just
Samson
sardines.
likes sardines. Okay.
He loves sardines more than a dog loves steaks. Just
okay.
So Manny gives him he gives him sardines in his dog dish, and that's all he needs to do is say, Samson, it's time for your sardines. He gives him his sardines, says good boy, and he walks away.
So that's high value.
That's right. So, I mean, he doesn't make him do any tricks or anything like that. He just calls him and tells him that they're there, and he gives it to him, and that's it.
Well, that's good. And that's important too.
Yep.
This isn't all about training. Okay.
Yep.
We also don't want to overdo it, because Samson sometimes gets a reward just for being so handsome, huh?
That's right.
Okay. And always remember, a visitor that comes to your house, they don't have a right to tell your dog what to do. All right. So don't make that mistake, because that's coming from the dog's mind. Okay. I mean, you could have the friendliest dog in the world, and somebody comes in and says, hey, sit. And well, in your dog protest, and you've never seen that before. Oh my, now what? Well, I didn't know he's never done that before. Now we have a bad dog. No, you have the same dog.
Nope, I got a
good dog you've had. Okay.
Yeah.
He's just struggling in that area. That's all, because here's this stranger, and maybe he's probably making eye contact, threatening him, and now he's trying to order him around. Peers you got the wrong breed for that. All right. Except maybe Andy or maybe Murphy here. Okay. You guys, Great Pyrenees Rescue Society for Murphy, and igpr.org for Andy. And it looks like you might have to take his sibling too, possibly. I don't know. Oh no, that's getanother.dog.com for that one, isn't it, Brenda? I've got you muted, Brenda, because we didn't there, I unmuted you. All right. Okay, everybody. Ruth, do you have anything to add before we go?
The only thing I have to add is after all I've been through with Samson, if I can make it through, anybody else can.
Wow. Now that's a pretty bold statement in here, isn't it?
I mean, it believe me. I mean, my husband is handicapped in a wheelchair. If we can make it through a dog that has nipped him and put the fear in him, and we made it through, and don't give up.
Yeah.
I mean, don't give up. I mean, these guys need us.
Yeah, absolutely. They need you. And Ruth, that's why I asked you to come on. Samson is you even said yourself, he's work in progress.
That's right.
he's a dog. Okay. A pug is, well, forget pugs. Any dog can be work in progress. All right.
What do you think?
Even a pug. Okay. We won't leave you guys out. I know you guys are special. So, well, they don't really have to have a job. That's all. The pug is about the only breed I know of anyway. But they will accept one. They just don't require it like the guardian breeds. They got to have a job. All right. And most of you folks that adopt them are fresh out of sheep. Okay. But always remember that the job is easy. Okay. Technically, if you ask them to sit and you don't order them, if you ask them to sit and they sit, you just technically gave them a job and they did it. It's a short one, so you better have a paycheck ready. But Rebecca, she's in Utah with Great Pyrenees Rescue Montana. She said so many are surrendered for less. And she said, thank you, Ruth, for sticking with him. They all deserve that. Yes, they do. And for those of you that aren't in rescue, some of the reasons of surrendering on forums are just simply speechless. I mean, you don't have there's no words for some of these reasons. All right. But there's help. There is hope. So just reach out. You just have to ask. That's all. Just, if you can't handle it, we'll get another set of eyes. There are people experienced in this, and always make sure you get somebody that is breed qualified. Okay. Because this is a special breed. We tell everybody they're not for everybody. That means not everybody can work with behavior on them. I mean, there's a lot of folks that can. So, but Roman's good. All right. So, and he's very good. So all around. So anyway, wow. Ruth, thank you for putting your neck out here like this.
Absolutely.
We'll have to get you back next time. Samson makes a mistake. We'll have to get you back on. And always remember, Ruth is, I mean, she's not getting rid of her kids if they make a mistake yet anyway. All right.
Yet.
Yet. I get it. Okay.
For the right dollar, I might.
Yeah. But so your dog should be in that same category.
That's right.
You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around the house hoping he doesn't make a mistake, because they're smart breed. They're extremely intelligent breed. Sometimes smarter than us. Well, pretty much all the time smarter than us. All right. But that's why they're so easy to work with.
You coming in, buddy?
Connection. Is he rubbing his nose and everything? One of the things before we go, I wanted
there was a gnat. There was a gnat getting at him.
Oh, a gnat. Well,
yeah.
Not that one. That's not a picture. I wanted to. How many of you folks have your Pyrenees does this? Okay, with the water. Now that is a little misleading, and it was with me even. That water is just up to his chest line, right?
Right.
And then he laid down. So
he just likes to go out to the water deep enough that he can lay in it. He doesn't like to swim. He just likes to lay in it.
So he doesn't have to dig much because Mom will take him to the river.
That's right.
All right. He's one good dog now. And he gets better every day, doesn't he?
That's right. That's right. And he gives good kisses.
Okay.
Not sloppy ones either. Just a nose bump. He gets a perfect kiss.
All right. But back to the water for a second. She is a very, very lucky person, because my dogs will go lay in the mud puddle and then roll around in it. And then the next stop they think is the sofa. So I'm sure anybody with a pier that has had a pier in the past they understand.
You coming, Sam? You coming?
He sure does like under that trampoline where that pool. That's where your pool used to be.
That's right. He doesn't want to come in either. Come on.
Tell him what you're thinking about doing with the next pool, and
there he's coming.
And see if we get a little bit of feedback, negative or positive. But wow, there he goes.
He says, "That's it. I'm done."
Wow, he does well on that shiny hardwood floor too.
Oh yeah, yep. And all I did to get him to come is 2 pats and come on.
Okay.
2 pats on my leg.
And he
He's
was
a
outdoors.
very, 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 very smart boy.
Yeah. Well, actually, you when a Great Pyrenees doesn't come in from outside, there's a good possibility he's on duty, and
Right.
he's committed to that job. Okay. So and there are ways to do this. All right, because he's not going to leave that job because there's nobody to take over. Okay?
He's checking
Remember
on
that.
Dad.
Yeah, he's checking on Dad.
Yep.
And like I said, if you have behavior issues with your dog that are just getting frustrating, nobody was more frustrated than Ruth. Okay, she was.
I was in tears many of days.
That's right. And now look at her; she's showing her dog off.
I can't
everybody.
stop.
Yeah. So, all right, Ruth, we're gonna get out of here. We're on overtime, and I can't afford to pay overtime. All right.
All right.
So
You guys all have a good time.
yeah, we'll have to get you on again.
Anytime.
Okay, because he's one good-looking boy. Now Kelsey's got a big problem up there. I see. One of hers may have passed away here, or just passed out. One of the two.
She's yeah.
Always remember that. I think I read that it's not unusual for a dog. I don't know what age group, but I think it was Roman that actually told me this. It's not unusual for them to sleep up to 18 hours in a day, but that's the limit, no more. Okay, so those of you who think your dog sleeps too much, maybe they're not. Boy, we brought them up. That husky is beautiful, or Malamute. I'm not sure if that was a husky or Malamute. But sorry, Brenda.
The husky.
That's a husky. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Next week, another show. And Montana will be back on Friday again. I'm sorry, on Saturday again. But they're going to be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. I'm sorry, Mountain time instead of 5 o'clock. Okay. And they're going to have an amazing boy on. His name's Arlo. So pay attention on Saturday on the Montana show for you folks in Montana that's watching. And
Here we go.
don't forget next weekend in Washington. Okay, you have that really cool whatever. I forgot what it's called already, and I don't have the banner.
Bye-bye.
Just a second, we will bring it. There it is, the Harbor Hounds. Okay, so you folks in Washington, make sure you check that out, at least their website. So we're going to call it a day. Kelsey, you have anything? Oh, you're muted. I can't unmute you.
There we go.
There you go.
Don't want to keep everyone longer.
Okay, look, that's a nice set you got back there for your dogs. Anyway, all right, everybody, we're gonna see you next week as soon as I get up here to the exit. There it is. Ruth, Brenda, Courtney, thank you, everybody. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Kelsey, for being part of this. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.